Segment 4. What forgiveness actually does for you. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood concepts in the rebuilding process. And because it is misunderstood, it is either avoided entirely or performed without sincerity. And either way, the person who misses out most is the one who needed it most. So let us be direct about what forgiveness is and what it is not. Forgiveness is not the declaration that what was done to you was acceptable. It is not the eraser of accountability for the people who hurt you, failed you, or contributed to the circumstances that led you to where you have been. It is not weakness. It is not forgetting. It is not the restoration of a relationship that was harmful or the reopening of access to someone who has demonstrated they cannot be trusted. Forgiveness is none of those things. Forgiveness is the decision to release the grip that unresolved resentment has on your energy, your attention, and your forward movement. Because resentment is a weight, and you are trying to build, and you cannot build at the level you are capable of while carrying unnecessary weight. Think about what sustained resentment actually costs you in practical terms. Every time the person or situation you resent enters your thinking, you lose time. You lose focus. You lose the emotional resource that belonged to your direction. You rehearse the injury, re-experience the pain, and exit the encounter exactly where you started, except more depleted. That is the transaction resentment offers you. And it offers it repeatedly, indefinitely, without your conscious consent. Forgiveness ends that transaction. It does not delete the memory. It does not pretend the harm did not happen. It simply withdraws your energy from the rehearsal and redirects it toward what you are building. And there is a second dimension to forgiveness that is even more immediate, practical. I repeat, and there is a second dimension to forgiveness that is even more immediately practical for the men listening to this. Forgiving yourself. Because the resentment that most men in your position carry most heavily is not directed outward. It is directed inward. At the decisions they made, at the people they hurt, at the time they lost, at the versions of themselves they are not proud of. That internal resentment, carried without resolution, becomes the quiet voice that tells you that you do not deserve the life you are building. That it is only a matter of time before you return to who you were. That people who have done what you have done do not get to have what you are reaching for. That voice is not truth. It is unresolved resentment passing as truth. Forgive yourself, not to erase accountability, but to stop paying for what has already been paid for with your time, your freedom, and your growth. Here is your action step. Identify one person or one version of yourself toward whom you are carrying unresolved resentment. Write a single sentence releasing that resentment. Not for them, for you. Then redirect the energy that sentence frees toward one action that builds your future. Again, then redirect the energy that sentence frees toward one action that builds your future. Because the weight you release today becomes the capacity you gain tomorrow.